Hello and welcome back to our study of Peninei Halacha, the teachings of Eliezer Malamed Shlita. Well, here we are midweek as we continue our learning, and I've made let's call it bold decision. I'm not going to say controversial, but bold decision. I'm going to end our week here just because we're coming up at the end of a chapter, and I wanted to make a clean break before I go to Israel, and therefore we could start something new and not be in the middle of a topic when I get back, Amir Hashem. So you'll just have to bear with me, but I thanks for joining us. Please continue davening for Chayalei Tzvah Gan Yisrael, for Shlem L'Chol Yisrael, and a return of our final hostage, L'Kvuras Yisrael, Nishmat Sarah Daniel Shimon Ben Arav Deron V'Shel Shem Gam Damo. So the last chapter here is Din Chutz La'aretz, which very much applies to us. Us meaning here in the diaspora, especially the Northeast United States. So Kavach HaChamim La'acher es Tchilas HaBakasha L'Gashamim B'Bavel Yom Shishim L'Tkufa. So Chazal instituted that we have to delay the request for rain, the Bakasha for rain, in Babylonia, so again that's anywhere outside of Israel ultimately, to the 60th day of the season, Shiyotze before or 5 December, which falls out on the 4th or the 5th of December, depending on whether it's a leap year or not. Vizos, because there was plenty of water in the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers. Again, that was the population centers at the time outside of Israel. And therefore, those places, they did not need to request rain right away. And the rest of the diaspora are drawn after Babylonia. And therefore, we ask on the 60th day of the season. Ben Eretz Yisrael sheyatza l'chutz la'aretz l'meshach kama chodshim. So let's say someone from Israel goes to the diaspora for a number of months. So yesh omrim shishal kaminig Eretz Yisrael shesham beiso. Some say you should just follow the minig of Eretz Yisrael, which is your home. Yesh omrim shishal kaminig hamakom shebehu nimtza'ata. Or some say no, you should follow the custom of where you are located, which is now in chutz la'aretz, and you should follow what they do there. V'haderech l'tzesidei kulam. And the way that you could be yotze all the shitas, shebechol eish sheish safek, whenever you have a doubt, yishal b'shamei tefillah v'lo b'berchas hashanim v'ayin b'ha'ara l'pratei halacha. And he says you should ask in Shemoeh tefillah and not in berchas hashanim, and therefore you can kind of obviate all the questions. And he says here we have a note here telling us exactly where he discusses this more at length in note number 7. Very detailed note about someone who is an Eretz Yisrael person that goes to Chutz La'aretz, or someone in Chutz La'aretz goes to Israel. Happened to me a number of times if I'm, let's say, traveling to Israel between Sukkot and December, and you have to fall into this question. But places where we need rain in the spring, we don't continue asking for rain after Pesach, but they are like individuals, but they should have individual requests during Shemoeh Tefillah. Because there anyone can have any specific requests. Argentina, Brazil, Australia, also those lands that are south of the equator, Argentina, Brazil, or Australia, for instance, they ask when it is winter in Israel. And even though it's summertime for them at those times, since Israel is the center and the main part of the world, everything follows Israel, and then you ask according to the days of winter in Israel. But let's say rain causes damage in the summertime. Then we do not follow Israel because we don't want to ask for something that might be harmful. But they should always say in Berchas Hashanim the summer language, which is not for rain. And in Shemoeh Tefillah they're always asking for rain. B'chorv shalahem, in their winter time, yiskavnu al makom megureihem, you have to have kavan on the place where you live. U'v'chorv shel Eretz Yisrael yiskavnu al Eretz Yisrael, and in the winter of Israel, then you have to have kavana for the winter time in Israel. Also, more details in the notes here. This is one of those chapters where there's more notes than the base part because there's so many different variables here. Someone who's leaving from Israel or from one of the northern places to visit one of these places, where also the rain is damaging, you should still ask according to Eretz Yisrael. So this is the day with modern travel and the ability to go to different climes and different areas in a short period of time. So these halachas become much more prescient. But generally speaking, we follow what we follow here in Chutz La'aretz. We start from December 4th, or if it's the year after a leap year, we start on December 5th. And that's when we begin our request for rain. And even though it's Israel is 7th of Cheshvan, but we still follow this based on the Gemara that in Babylonia we would wait a little longer. So that's our practice and that's what we do. But thank you so much for joining us. We'll pick it up in a number of days when I return from Israel, God willing. Thank you so much for joining us. Please continue in the meantime davening for Charli Tzvag in Israel, for Shalom Chalps to Israel, return of Ran Gavila, the Perez Yisrael, Shemoeh Esreh, the Shemoeh Esreh, Thanks again. See you when I return.